Listed on the National Registry of Historic Places, the Constantine Theatre didn't start out as such. It was a hotel from 1894 until 1914, when its owner, C.C. Constantine, turned it into a theater. Vaudeville and silent films were the big entertainment venues of the day.
That, and as well as, the opera stuff was really big back in that period of time. So Mr. Constantine had several performers from the Metropolitan Opera that performed here at the Constantine during, I'm going to say, like 1918 through about 1921.
The theater sat empty in later years, but in 1987, a restoration began.
And then about 10 years ago, we started our own kind of theatrical group here in-house, where we do our own children's productions now, and we try to do a spring play or two.
Not only is the theater steeped in history, it's fascinating and elegant. And when tourists come in and see the auditorium and the proscenium, they realize just how beautiful it all is.
They're kind of in awe because many of them will say, I just didn't realize that was what was behind these doors. That there's, at one period there was this, just can you imagine 1914 when this theater opened as an opera house, what it must have been like. I mean, there were 8 opera boxes here. Now there's just boxes for show now, they're not used. And the original ones were really kind of torn out of here. So, but I've seen bits and pieces of some old photographs from newspaper articles. The pictures are not very clear, but you can just see the beauty.
When looking around, you can see Greek statuaries, paintings, and murals depicting Mr. Constantine's home country and its Greek influence. But to tour the theater and look around, it's as if you can feel the history here. Some want to hear about the historic oil lease sales that took place here. One included the highest oil lease sale ever sold, a little under $2 million for 160 acres of land. That was around 1921.
You don't realize that when you hear the stories that the stage at the time was, I believe, the second largest stage in the state at the time the theater opened. The proscenium was the largest proscenium at that particular time. And so Mr. Constantine always wanted to try to have some of the best acts and productions for his theater. We've had people who came in just for the architecture of the theater, especially college kids who are studying architecture.
But is there something lurking about in the theater after hours when the lights dim? Could be. Garrett says ghost stories have been swirling around here for years. One involves a woman who died of typhoid fever. Another one involves Mr. Constantine's oldest daughter named Sappho,
which was later in life was known as Helen. That was she was Helen Sappho Constantine Brown, and that she worked here with her father, and that she walks the aisles and the rooms of the Constantine.
Another report is the sighting of a mysterious woman in vintage dress in the balcony. Now, several paranormal groups have come to the theater to investigate the various mysterious goings-on. So it does appear the spirit of the Constantine Theatre is alive and well. Maybe there's another kind of spirit, though, at work. A restless soul who is still wanting to take just one more bow on stage.